I am James Hammann. I've spent my entire professional life as an organist and a church musician. I've also had the opportunity to work in the field of organ building as a technician, tuner, and representative for a major builder. A pipe organ project, in a broad way, is defined by two major constraints. Those are physical space for the instrument and monetary resources for the project. This is a great oversimplification, much like that famous quote of Bach where he says, "It's easy to play the organ, all you have to do is push the right key at the right time." However, both of these statements have overriding truths embedded in them, and the correct answer for building a successful pipe organ is often creating an appropriate ratio between space and funds. Trying to put too many pipes in too small a space creates tonal and service access problems, even if funds permit. Trying to trim a project to the available funds by cutting corners and choosing a builder by the lowest contract price leads to more unsatisfactory results. Since pipe organs, by definition, are created as unique instruments for particular architectural and musical uses, it is often difficult for a committee to separate apples from oranges in comparing instruments. Rather than trying to find a pipe organ that is exactly like the one that you envision for your situation and then choosing that builder, it is far better to look at the instruments that you are shown and then assess whether the builder has succeeded in creating a satisfying musical instrument within the broad constraints of the space and money that were the reality for that particular project. The old real estate slogan, "Location, location, location," holds true for pipe organs as well. The sounding portion of the organ is best placed on the central axis of a traditional rectangular building and at a tonal focal point of a building of another shape. Finally, a freestanding organ case containing speaking pipes can be an architectural and decorative feature of your space that adds beauty and visual artistry, as well as providing focus and projection to the sounding portions of the organ. If a particular situation does not call or allow for a freestanding case, then chambers with sound-reflective walls and grills that allow for sufficient tonal egress can be decoratively enhanced with functioning facade pipes and casework. Sometimes these optimal spaces are already spoken for. However, the fact remains that the most successful instruments follow these simple acoustical rules. And so, time and funds spent in negotiating with competing interests are often well worth the investment. It is imperative that the location of the organ mechanisms and console be in supportive relationship to all of the music-making activities of congregation, choirs, instrumental ensembles, and soloists. The acoustics of the worship space or auditorium is also of prime importance. One famous American organ builder pronounced the acoustics of the room the most important stop in an organ. Again, time and resources spent in creating a sound-friendly environment for a pipe organ are exceedingly important. An instrument can fully develop its true potential when it does not have to overcome too much sound-dampening material, such as carpet, deadening acoustical tile in the ceiling, or tapestries and drapes that impede the natural flow of sound and the spoken word. In the past, our American culture has simply emphasized replacing the old with new, and so most pipe organ projects were new instruments, often in new church buildings. Today, while there are still many completely new pipe organs being designed and installed, a growing awareness of the conservation of our remaining natural resources and the ever-rising cost of construction leads many organ projects to make use of existing pipes and materials in some way or another. Some even opt for the relocation and restoration of a complete existing instrument. All of the above are valid considerations, but only valid when undertaken by a competent builder whose ear and mechanical knowledge can make sound judgment calls regarding tonal integrity and engineering excellence. You may hear much discussion by organists and organ aficionados about different types of key action, such as mechanical, electromechanical, electropneumatic, and electric slider. Most fine builders today are conversant with all of these actions, and all of them have their merits and deficiencies. Unless one is intent upon a particular kind of historic recreation, exclusivity is not essential. Similarly, the popularity of one tonal style over another is in constant flux. It is far more important to tailor tonal decisions toward the particular acoustical and musical requirements than toward the tonal fashion of the month. Having talked a great deal about important generalities of successful pipe organ projects, let's now proceed to applying these general observations to a tonal and visual tour of the instrument that Patrick Murphy and Associates has created for St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish in Carnegie, Pennsylvania.